what did he recommend in terms of donghua/anime? It's super interesting because talking to him, there's a lot of Chinese animation that comes out, and it kind of reminds me of what the culture was with Japanese anime like 20 years ago, where some of the most popular Chinese animation are not something that is traditionally localized to other languages. A massive part of Chinese animation right now is actually 3D animation. I don't know how much you are into the Donghua kind of like culture, but the traditional 2D animation that you see coming from Chinese animation, that is actually like a small slice of the type of shows that they make there. And a lot of other shows that they make there that are also immensely popular is 3D animation. And it's more akin to less inspired by Japanese anime, and it's more reminiscent of, traditional Chinese soap operas. It kind of hits that area a bit more. 2D animation is actually more of a niche over there compared to the other type of animation, which I think is more comparable to, Asian soap operas and maybe some of the stuff you'd catch my mum watching. From what I've heard, quite a few CN bros like cartoon animations. Yeah, I know. I'm honestly coming into this as an outsider. This was very much a learning trip for me. Do you have any examples? Let me see if I can bring up an example, because there was one massive one that they showed me. Okay, of course, this is a cultivation. Of course. So they were telling me about this one, a record of a mortal's journey to immortality, which I'd never heard of this. Super, super niche. Here in the West, I guess. And they told me that in Thailand, at least, in Thailand, for this past month, this had a bigger viewership than One Piece. From the data that Billy had, this beat out One Piece in terms of like viewership. And I was like, this is insane. What? I was like, I've never heard of this before. Huh? What? Yeah, your mum watched that, and look, it's like 3D. It's a 3D animation, so it's like not something that I would typically watch or something, but it was super interesting just to see this everywhere. I had heard briefs of it, but it's this popular. Yeah, I did not know it was just this popular, and it probably is not, kind of like the viewership of my kind of like fan base or my kind of viewership. And they were telling me some of the data behind it. And I was like, oh shit, this is insane that I'd never heard of it. And it's just this big. Just shows how much of a little bubble that you can be in sometimes. Man, this gets a Mal page, but not Scott Pilgrim. Oh, it do be like that sometimes. Oh, hello. Thank you, hon.